Hello, DigitalStyx here, and progressed with this avatar. I've added the dynamic bone animators to it, so it already had the bones with the MMD model, so I didn't have to do a whole lot there, so I'm not bragging too much. It's actually really easy, especially if you're working with a model that already has the bones in place. Even adding the bones isn't too difficult, but as far as the dynamic bones themselves, it's really easy to do. If you follow Pepper's tutorial, it's straightforward. And I need to find the link for it to share, but I also added an animator, because one thing about making my own avatar that I can finally do that I really like is adding some music to gestures. More than that, I can make a version of the avatar that has the music, and I can still use this one with no animations whatsoever, so I can talk and gesture when I'm just having conversation with nothing annoying going on. I don't have to be mindful of that. It's really nice. So majority of the time I'm on here and hanging out with friends or whatever, I just want to talk and chill and enjoy the show. But I do have the option of adding the flare. Anyways, it's got the full body tracking working nice with this. I've given up, at least for now, on getting some of the clipping taken care of. I guess I was trying to be a little too perfectionist for technology that doesn't duplicate physics to handle the way layers interact. So probably my best bet is to learn to model my own clothing and switch to something simpler, which I'd like to do. And I might lose the hoodie on a version eventually, but I've also got to figure out how to manage hair in a way that I like. So this one without the hoodie, that they didn't really fill in the back of the head. I mean, it's there, but it's not great. So I wouldn't want to use this one as is without a hoodie for sure. I'm here in the Great Pug West, and this is a nice world. If you've only used it on Quest, it's got some richer detail for sure on PC, but obviously it's laid out the same. There's definitely some rich detail. And the bar taps are real nice brass. The bar surface is glossy, and it's a wood grain with the hard wax finish like you'd see at a bar, and the scratch marks. Some nice extra details that you miss on Quest, but the atmosphere is still the same on a Quest. Overall, as you see, the lighting is not baked like it is on Quest, so you get the reflection moving on the table with the light. So little extra details like that are missing. The walls are textured more finely. You have your light effects on every object. It's not a single staller bathroom, but there's only one bathroom, so we're all friends here, I guess. Reflections on the clock face, and just little niceties like that are on a PC that are not available on Quest. But overall, it's a nice world for hanging out. They still made it so the mirror is active when you get close, but on the PC, you see a low poly reflection of the world, and then when you get closer, it's the actual mirror. So it's kind of neat. Good optimization idea. So that's where I'm at on the model. Now, again, some advantages of making your own avatar, even if you're not making an original, but you just import an existing MMD to make it as a private or to be able to customize it. See, I've overrode the animation. Anyways, I need to pick a different gesture. This is supposed to be activating when I do the victory sign. It's activating when it should not, which is not good. Like if this was my only avatar, I would be annoying people. By hitting that, I'd be annoying myself. So it's not. By creating it myself, I can now switch back, and now I have no animations whatsoever but my gestures. So I do not create any annoying sounds. And also when I'm in Quest, using the Quest version on PC, I'm not making crazy sounds that people on PC hear that I have no idea that I'm even doing on a Quest. Another thing to highlight here is by making it crossplay. You can make an avatar crossplay pretty much as long as your hip and the armature is located in the same place in the hierarchy. If you're using that same basic armature for a lot of different models, you can then use the same Quest model. So you may not look exactly the same in Quest, but you have the option of at least not being a placeholder for those users. The other option people are doing is they're just going ahead and uploading, changing their shaders to the mobile shaders and uploading their existing PC avatar as a Quest avatar, as a Quest version 2. And then doing that, they're not going to show it by default, but somebody can select to see that model. So they have an option at least to not see a placeholder. And depending on how crazy your PC model is, that still may be completely playable for them. I was trying it in Quest when the new features came out, and I had everybody enabled that I could possibly see. I was in a room with at least 10 users, and all of them were visible. I had to turn about 5 of them on individually, had to actually select them and select show avatar because there were no default settings to display them. And the majority of others were poor, so I had to change to the poor setting to see them too. All said and done, the poly counts are not the end of the world for Quests, but they have their reasons for needing to limit what people do. And certainly when you start to think about a lot of users in a room, it becomes an issue. But as it stands, just to give Quest users something as an option to a placeholder is a really good thing to do. So now on mine, on every version of this avatar that I've been working on, I have the Quest version on there. It feels nice. Like I could come in here. This is a pretty decent crossplay world right here. Just simple. It's a scaled down version of the Pug. So it's a great place to chill. And it's neat to talk to the Quest users. Most of them are brand new to VR. They're excited about VRchat and their options. They've got a new toy they're checking out. And a pretty neat group of people to interact with. So I encourage everybody to take a little extra effort to help make their experience better. And I understand some people are upset about the network IK, but that really is the future. It's buggy, but it makes a lot more sense to have the server do the work than having every PC do the work. That's at the same time they're complaining about it and they're mad because they think that's only Quest brought it about. Well, Quest may have been what kicked them in the butt to take it serious, but they'd obviously tried it before. And before the Quest was even an issue, there's a lot of people struggling to play this game with their PCs. VRchat uses a lot more PC horsepower than GPU horsepower, like a lot of games. And so people are having trouble without optimization anyway. They're doing a pretty good job. I mean, we still have the option to be absolutely insane with avatars if we want to. When the game originally launched, this one wouldn't have even been an option. Now their rating system now puts anything with dynamic bones at all into the poor category. I think they should try to find a way to not rate dynamic bones as poor. Because there comes a point where the bottom line is the game does require a gaming PC. And just because you can make it run on less than ideal doesn't mean that we should be rating the performance of avatars based on what the least common person can play. I think more clear-cut, straightforward performance options would be good. Maybe there's something I'm missing on the way Unity works. They don't seem to offer the basic options of just in-game reducing resolution. Of course, I don't see that on many VR games, so apparently that's got to be done. Like, it can be done inside Steam VR. It's not available as an option like in-game, like on a PC game it would be. So perhaps that's where they're struggling, is because they can't simply let somebody lower their resolution overall to fix issues. But that would be nice, especially if you want to see all the bells and whistles. The Quest is proving that there's definitely plenty of room to have a good time with VR without having the best fidelity possible. It's really a good device, but I digress. Other than encouraging people to think about Quest users as they make content and help make their experience better too, the better that experience could be made by users helping embrace it, the less that VRchat developers are compelled to do to make it work on their own. Now, I would like it if they would do something, find some better solutions for the placeholders without compromising the PC experience as well. But if they don't, more people creating content, just being mindful Like for now, again, you can even just simply upload, change a few shaders and stuff, and then re-upload your avatar as a Quest crossplay version, and at least give them an option. The other thing is like a world like this only holds 8 players. And if you just really don't like anything crossplay that you have available, go to the regular pug. Don't come in here and be a placeholder to a Quest user when you've got plenty of people you can interact with that can see you as you want to be seen. What's worse, to be a low poly avatar or just a placeholder. So if your avatar selection is that important to you, which is fine, just go to worlds where everybody can see you as that avatar so that the other people that are here, it's a big deal. I've come in on a Quest and I was the only Quest player in here while 7 other people were in PC avatars, not a single cross player. It didn't bother me because it wasn't my only VR experience, but if that was my only VR and I was wanting to play VRchat, that would felt like a very incomplete game. So it's a little bit of effort, and we could consider these people too, because they are people too. Quest users are people too. And eventually, if they like the game, then they're going to want to invest in things. For example, I've invested more in PC components on account of this game than I have for anything else. It just works that way. It's a cool experience. It's great. When you get an opportunity to make it better, you do. That's good for a lot of people. So Quest users are another generation coming into it, discovering the game. They'll be your future PC players, a lot of them. I recommend that we not create a great divide, but we do our best as players to encourage it for everybody. I like it. I scoop up Quest friends left and right. They're all new to the game. You come in and they're fun to add. My school schedule will pretty much dictate whether or not I ever get on the Quest much. If I end up with a 2-hour window that I have to bridge a gap for with the Quest, so I could jump in and say hey to some friends or whatever. That'd be nice. There might be more people to discover uses for a Quest in addition to PC hardware, or when they're showing friends. A lot of people are interested in Quest to show friends VR, and if they do that, the better the experience on Quest is in VRchat, the better for them too. Or if you visit friends or family, if you have a Quest, just because you don't anticipate using it for VRchat, you may enjoy having the option once in a while and have it be decent for yourself. I may end up doing some tutorials for some of these things that I've learned to do with Blender and Unity. Mostly I'm in the basics, but I am learning a few more advanced tricks. I've definitely picked up more skills with it than I would have if I had not had trouble accomplishing what I was accomplishing. What I would have to contribute if I do a tutorial would just be simply sharing the information from a perspective of somebody that came in fresh to Blender, completely lost like anybody else, and somewhere in there, the perspective of how things worked for me. It seems like the people that have been using Blender for a while, they forget that if you're new to Blender, you have no idea how to even get to the views that they're getting to. Even watching tutorials, I was really lost for a long time just because how did they get to that screen? Where's that screen? I'd be rewinding the video trying to figure it out. Some of them left me lost. Once you're familiar with it, then that tutorial has all the information you need, which is fine. So that might be a contribution that I can make to that process of building Avatar. Check the description of this video, see if I've left a link to the one on animations. I just simply wanted to add music as an option. I wasn't wanting to rush into making an animation, and I did that, and I followed a tutorial that was just straight through, perfectly paced. I mean, you could almost do it in real time at the same pace the guy was going. It was really nice, and so I'll link to his videos, and I'm looking forward to checking out more of what he's made. You want that stuff concise, but it seems like a lot of people's idea of concise is going fast, and that doesn't make for a good tutorial. This guy was concise, to the point, and simply, I mean, you can even tell by his demeanor that it's not that complicated what he's doing, and it calms you down, you just go through. I mean, it was just really simple. I just went down the steps, and so that's nice. I mean, when you've been challenged by so much stuff, it's great to have an option to do something that's just straightforward, and you learn something new, but not have to be kicking in the adrenaline to get it done. So I'll share that, and then I still hope to bring some real-life content as well. My cameras haven't cooperated with me on that, to the point some of the time that would have been taken, I just have to abandon any hope of that and just enjoy the time with my son. So, but we're doing a lot of adventures. We just have a lot of potential to share some great YouTube content there. So subscribe and like if you would for this video, show some support, and then some of that content will be coming, but the VR content and gaming content in general. I'm a budget-minded person. I understand what it's like to get into some of these things and not have the resources that most people in the communities take for granted, or most people don't even discover some of these things without having those resources to begin with. And you can do VR on a low budget. In fact, I could actually recommend it, because you look at what the stuff costs and it seems like a lot, but when you look at what you can do with it and all the things that are made possible by VR, then it could provide you a lot of great experiences and entertainment and possibilities that the real world would be very expensive too. I'm using VR to treat my eyes and other things, so it's a really good technology, and there's no reason that someone should not discover it just because they're not rich. VR is a way as an investment that you can continue to use, and for the most of it, there's not a continuous cost. I mean, providing your stuff doesn't break and things like that. And it's actually how I ended up with a better setup for VR and VRchat in general, is I'm in college and I've got some lean years coming ahead. And by investing in VR, I do still have a very enjoyable hobby available at no continuous investment, basically. And as long as my computer doesn't break, it's available. And so I had an opportunity to make it better and basically get the best I could reasonably afford. Anyways, there's things to consider on these aspects that a lot of them you learn after you already get into it. I built a gaming PC just trying to do some simple upgrades to play a game called Aces High. I didn't need much for it, but some of my upgrade paths took the wrong direction, and when it was all said and done, I ended up with 2 decent PCs, but I could have had 1 great PC for less. That's the whole mindset here when I share the VR things, is I really do look out for the little guy, the common person that doesn't have the money to throw at every little toy and wants to make their money count when they get into it, to help you make up your mind on what you want to get into VR. I definitely think it's an affordable technology. I think it's worth the money. It's well spent. It's a good investment for people that are on a budget, or a really tight budget. I mean, if you can make it happen, you won't regret what you've made happen. You get to enjoy that no matter what else your struggles are in life. Myself, I'm currently a college student, single father, and that doesn't allow for a very extraordinary budget, but I don't regret getting VR. In fact, I'm very grateful for it. It's a great technology, and as I'm working on avatars now, that's kind of the beginnings of learning how to get into VR development altogether. Of course, I'm going to college to become a math teacher, but I'd look forward to using this as part of that, because the passion for teaching is to get the students to not just simply sit through another class and get another grade, but to have them motivated by knowing that they can use what they're learning or what it's going to mean. And so I think, VR definitely provides opportunities to create some additional bonus content for my own classes to help encourage the students. And I definitely have a lot of ideas and inspiration for how I could use it in the career that I am pursuing. And anything else it accomplishes would be a bonus. But I'm pretty smart, and so, I don't say that with the ego. I mean, I'm really am smart, can figure a lot of things out. But at the same time, I think a lot of times that just gives me the courage to try stuff that a lot of other people could do that they just don't think they can. And I'll tell you what, like when you're Blender and Unity, they're pretty complex programs, and getting your head wrapped around all the different aspects of model creation, it's no small thing. It's certainly doable. There's enough tutorials. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from doing it. Rather, I think it's great. I think it's helping people find their potential for what they can do. And I mean, there's a lot to learn from people that others may not rate. Like people that know me and know how smart I am may never think I have anything to pick up from some of these other people that I'm extremely grateful for what they're sharing with what they've accomplished. And it's really impressive. And I think this could be a gateway for people finding out potential that they never would have before realized. But they can't find it out if they're not in it because they don't think they can afford it. That's where I come in. I just want to make this available for more people. There's certainly affordable technology available that can run VR in a good quality experience and could get somebody in the door. And then from there, their own experience and desires will dictate what they get. But in the meantime, I want to share things whenever I can to help people go a more straightforward path and make their money count. So Not so much worried about telling you what you absolutely must buy, things that you might not think about when you're comparing specs of devices that you'll discover while using it. So, for example, VRchat, full body tracking. Definitely something to keep in mind for this game that you might not know at the beginning, but talking more about it will help you kind of get an idea of whether that would be something you'd be interested in, or think twice about it before you're certain that it's not. That's certainly not for the ultra low budget person. But at the same time, when you consider the value of this game to yourself, entertainment wise, social wise, and having that extra dimension may be well worth the money for you. But how do you want to add that? What headset are you going to use? Little things like that become basis for good topics of discussion that you're not going to get from comparing advertisements or a review for a VR headset in general. That is the mindset of what I share here, and because there's already so many people that do reviews. I mean,